Katana ZERO is one of those games that just catches your eye whilst browsing through the numerous indie titles on Steam. And something about it just grabs your attention and makes you take a chance on buying it, and boy was I glad that I did. In the game, you play as a 2D no-name samurai in a fast-paced side-scrolling action assassin game that will leave you hungry and craving for more. The game is set within a dark and gritty neon world with a fantastic soundtrack that fits in perfectly with the fast-paced action gameplay and gritty setting. The levels are designed around you killing all of your targets within a certain time frame, as indicated by the egg timer bar at the top of the screen. You need to eliminate every enemy before you can progress and pass the stage. Having the timer means you can't hang around waiting for the ideal moment to pick people off, as it does want you to move quickly and take some risks throughout the level. But the timer never feels too demanding and never forces you into situations you don't want to be in, as you always seem to have more than enough time to complete the stage, so it's perfectly balanced in that sense. In order to help you progress through the stages, you have various abilities that help you counter and deal with the one-hit kill combat system that is in place. These abilities come in the form of your trusted katana blade, which dispatches your foes with a satisfying thud and swooshing sound upon impact. You can also dodge attacks by rolling, which helps you avoid being hit by melee attacks and bullets, and it also enables you to get behind enemies who may be shielded. Another of your abilities is to slow down time, as indicated by the battery icon in the top left hand corner of the screen. This has a limited duration, meaning you can't abuse this ability, but it does recharge quickly, so you should have it available when you need it most. This can be extremely useful when dealing with multiple foes, to help buy you some valuable time. But for me, there's nothing more satisfying than hitting an enemy's bullet right back at them in slow motion. You can also pick up various projectiles, ranging from knives, lamps, bottles and smoke grenades, all of which aid you in dispatching your opponents and progressing through the level. The overall combat system is simplistic, yet really well designed, as the controls are super tight and responsive. This means that they do what you want them to do, when you want them to do it. The controls for the PC are also remappable, as are the buttons for your controller of choice, be it the keyboard and mouse, PlayStation, Xbox or Switch. There's also an option to reduce the screen shake if people find it a tad uncomfortable on the default setting. Now, death is a big part of the game, and you will die a lot, as if you make a mistake you will simply die. But don't let that put you off, as you respawn so quickly that you're instantly back into the action, ready for another attempt on that enemy that just killed you without even a second thought. I think the story for me was the weakest part of the game, and that's not a criticism, and it's probably the wrong choice of word to use, as it's not an awful story or anything like that. It's actually really well written, and it is interesting discovering about yourself and how you've become what you are. But I was left with a few unanswered questions at the end of the game. I won't go into it as not to spoil it for anyone, but maybe that was just me. Overall, I think this is a fantastic game, and a bargain at the price of £11.39. It took me around 5 hours or so to complete the game, with only a certain few of the stages putting up any real big of a challenge for me. However, this game left me feeling like I was a kid again back in the arcades, as I could easily have seen this standing alongside classic games from my childhood, like Kung Fu Master, Shinobi and Bad Dudes vs Dragon Ninja, with me inserting all of my pocket money into it. As to me, it had a very similar look and feel and sound to those great games. What more can I say? I love this game, I totally recommend it, and I hope there's more to come. So thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.